Let's talk about fear of failure, especially when you're just getting started. And it may not be your first business in the world, but when you are making your first offer to a brand new list of people and you don't have a lot of experience yet, and you don't have you don't have a very big list yet, and you're so nervous that it's not going to do well. Well, managing your emotions, managing your mental state through this process is so vital. So let's talk about a couple of techniques that I've learned from experience, because I've experienced these exact same emotions myself. So let's talk about a couple of these that might help you. The first one is that you need to be honest in answering your question. Are you more afraid of failing or having others see you as a failure? In most cases, it's this one. Failing, yes, sometimes that's real. That's real, especially if money's tight and things like that, and you really need to succeed monetarily. Well, what I found is this second one, this having other people see you as having failed or as a failure, is a much bigger mental battle to fight. So let me just walk you through a couple of things that might help you with this. The first one is prepare expectations of your market, of yourself, of the others that are important in your life. Prepare these expectations well in advance of you actually launching to the market, so that everyone's not saying, well, how's it going? You're failing, all those kinds of things. Even if they don't see that, even if they're being supportive of you, you still feel like they're thinking those things. So the first step, and this is incredibly powerful, is to make small a selling point. So let's say, for example, that you're going to offer a course. You've got 250, 300 people on your list. And so you know you're probably going to sell 1 to 5 copies of that course. All right. You need to launch. You need to get out there. You need the learning. You need the experience and things like that. But you're not going to sell 10,000 copies. You're not going to sell 100 copies. You wish you would, but you're not going to. So let's be real about it and actually make the smallness of the sales that are going to happen become a selling point. So what you can say is, hey, you can take courses from all those other big guys, but here's what's going to happen. There's going to be 300, 500, 1,000, 2,000 people in the course. How much personal attention do you think you're actually going to receive in a program where you're one of 442 people who are taking that program at that time? Virtually nothing. What would happen if you were just one of a small handful of people in this program? Well, that's what this program is going to be. I'm purposely keeping it small so that I can give you personal attention, so that I can help you get the results that you're looking for. See what I just did there? I know it's going to be small because I've only got a few people that have expressed interest in it. And I've turned that to an advantage, to an actual benefit for them buying. And using the words, I'm purposely keeping it small so that I can, well, yes, some of that smallness isn't you personally keeping it small. It's the marketplace keeping it small, but you're still keeping it small. And so that's not inaccurate, so that I can give you the very best service and help you achieve your objectives in taking this program. Okay? All right. So the core is to market it as being a small, intimate group so that you can better help them achieve their objectives. So that's the way you deal with it within your marketplace, so that you don't have the fear of them actually getting into the course and coming on the first call and realize, hey, there's 4 people on this call. It's like, okay, you positioned it in the beginning that way. Now, the next key thing is when that happens, you may need to actually step in and fill up a few spots with some friends. So let's say you sold 1. Okay, excellent. Continue to do the program, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get it in the can. You're trying to get the learnings. You're trying to get experience. You're trying to get everything else. And so go ahead, call a couple of your friends and say, hey, I put together this program. I would like to offer it to you for free on one condition: that you actually do it, that you come to the calls, that you're there. Because one of the reasons I'm offering this is because I've only got like a couple of people in the program, and I want to have enough people on the calls so we can have good discussions and so that everyone can see that there's other people there. So would you be willing to do that? I'll give it to you for free. All right. Next thing. This is for managing your own feelings as well as those who love and support you. Forecast low, like really low. Like, I'm going to sell 1. If I'm lucky, I'm going to sell 2. So come in expecting from the very beginning that you're not going to make $10,000 from this. You're not going to make $100,000. You're not going to make $1 million. I'm going to be fortunate if I sell 1, really fortunate if I sell 2. And I'll be happy with that result. Then if you sell 3 or 4, it's like, whoa, that is so cool. But if you come in saying, I'm going to sell 10, and you sell 1 or 2, then in your mind and in the mind of those who love you, you failed with that launch. See how that small difference of how you forecast. And sometimes I see people that come in saying, I'm hoping to sell 500 copies of this. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, no, I can see that there is no way you're going to sell 500 copies of it. You are setting yourself up in advance for failure. Why in the world would you want to do that? And sometimes they'll say, well, I want to motivate my team so that everybody works together to get there. And it's like, okay, I understand, but let's motivate them with a sales goal of 50, not a sales goal of 500, and then blow it out of the water and say, look how amazing we did, as opposed to, oh man, we didn't come even close to achieving our objective. Next, as you go through the process of launching your product, push all the way through. Here's what happens. Most people open it up, and because the server doesn't crash with all the different people placing orders and they get no orders on the first day, they give up. It's like, okay, this product's not going to succeed. We need to realize that in today's environment, most people buy on the last day. And if you're only going to sell 1 or 2, those 1 or 2 sales are going to happen on the last day. If you give up on day 1, you're not going to get the sales on the last day. And so you need to push all the way through as if this was a launch that was selling 100 copies or 1,000 copies or whatever. You're pushing through just as hard, because if you give up, they give up on you. They can feel that. Final piece. Recognize the reason you're doing this is for experience and learning. Everybody's a beginner in the beginning. Every product has got to have a beginning. And that beginning is not going to perform as well as it will later on. And the reason why is because that first time you launch, you're going to get experience and learning that will help you to refine it so that you can do it differently next time, so that you get better results next time. But if you never have the first result, you never get to the last result. So recognize all these things as you go through the process. I love the concept of this is going to be small, intimate. There's not going to be very many, so I can serve you better. I love the concept of forecasting really low. I love the concept of recognizing this is the first time. It's happening for the purpose of learning and experience. All right? I'd love to know your personal experience with not doing as well with selling a product as you thought you did. How did you manage your personal emotions? How'd you handle that? I know you did. Let me know in the comments. And let me know if any of these suggestions are valuable, if you have other ones that you found worked. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.